this hand a little further up. Yes, good. Go a little faster. Go more faster. Try and don't go in this direction. Make sure you're going in this direction. Yes. Okay, good. Should curl also prominent. Right now your curl is not prominent, right? You should curl so is get a good sound. Yeah, that's right. You already played?
Yes.
Okay. One suggestion, I think your thumb is pulling out, right? Just pull the thumb closer. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Good, good. Let's go to the next phrase today. What else we did other than Katija? Okay.
In the same in the standard speed.
Tira Kicha. So, T, R, T, Cha. And again come back to T. That is not happening. You are just playing Rakita, Rakita.
Oh, because I'm going to the other one. Okay.
So just play T. Oh, you are playing Tira Kicha Taka?
Yeah.
That's fine. You can play that. Hold on. That's good. Yeah, perfect. Good. Good speed. Good speed.
I practiced this.
So you need to get a little louder sound. Don't go for the speed by sacrificing the sound. No. Make sure your sound is clear. So if it is less speed, that is fine. Don't compromise sound to get you the more speed. Okay, try it. That's perfect. Okay? So make sure you remember that forever. Don't compromise to the sound to get you the speed. Okay? No, tira, kicha, taka, my friend. Tira, kita, taka. Perfect. Good. Good. That's fine. So that's it pretty much we did last night.
That's all.
Let's go to the next.
That Tal, Dadra.
But we didn't play the other one. Okay. Yeah, we'll play it. Yes.
You also wrote down.
Dadina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll learn today. Yeah, we'll learn today. So let's basically learn.
We did Jati also, up to 9.
Yeah, we'll not touch to that. So let's learn the basic syllables which are used to form any given tab. Okay. And what are those basic syllables? First one is ta. Okay, write down that. First one is ta. Capital T, small a.
Also called ta.
Yeah. Capital T and small a. So which is ta. The second syllable is thin. Capital T, small I, small n. Thin. That is number 2. Syllable number 2. Then syllable number 3 is dha. D-H-A. Capital D, small h, small a. Then the fourth one is dhin. Capital D, small h, small I, small n. Dhin. Sit straight, my friend. Why are you listening like that? So again I'll repeat. The first one is ta, then second
Then.
din, third one
Da.
dha, fourth one
Din.
and then there are two more. One is k, ki, k, the number 5. K slash ki slash k, and then the last sixth one is gh, ghi, ghe or go. So there are multiple names. Okay. So these are the 6. Yes.
So it's ka, ki.
K. So these are the 6. Yes.
What was the last one?
Gh, ghi, ghe or g. Okay. Now these are the 6 syllable which will comprises of most of your tal system. I think we did discuss about tal system, right, last week?
Yeah.
So what is the tal system or what the tal is called? Yes.
It's it's a cycle of like rhythm.
Cyclic rhythm. Yes.
No, I was gonna say no.
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything back? No? Yes.
In a tal, you need these beats.
Don't look at the book. That's fine. You just explain the word. I should be able to understand. Yes.
You need a number of beats.
Number of beats. Okay. This side.
Repetition.
Repetition. Perfect.
You need a rhythm.
Of course, rhythm. Basically, and what the tal is being used for? What is the purpose of tal? Yes.
So the purpose of tal is to count your songs. So like
Okay. So that means you are using that tal to accompany somebody when some songs or some music is going on. Right? That's the key part. And that accompaniment part is basically a major part in the music, in the tabla. See, if you categorically see the tabla learning, the one part is the tabla solo, which is you are the king on the stage, nobody is with you basically, right? Second thing is accompaniment, right? That's another part basically, and that accompaniment has a more part than a solo presentation, because tabla requires everywhere, whether it's a folk music, whether it's instrumental music, whether it's a dance, whether it's a song, anything devotional, there has to be a tabla. Why? To create a rhythm. And what we play? We simply play the ta. So once you focus on these 6 basic syllables, which are the 6 syllables? Ta, tin, ha, din, ka, ki, ke, and gha, ki, ge. You should be able to play any
Da,
ta.
gi, ge.
Yeah. Okay. So let's today learn all these 6 syllables before we go home. That's our target today. Okay. So that next week onwards, we'll be learning tal at least once a tal every week. Okay. So start with the first one is called as a ta. So how the ta is played? So before we go further, let me probably say a couple words. You should know 3 things for any new syllable to play. Which are those 3 things? First one is where to play. Second is what fingering, and third one is what sound.
Closed or open.
Location is where to play, right? That's the location, right? So where to play is your location, what finger, and then what sound. If you know these 3 things, you should be able to play any syllable. Okay? So come back to the ta part. Ta, first answer, ta is played on the kinar, right? But now the kinar is it's a huge circle. So at what location of that? Let me finish. Okay. So at what location of the kinar you are playing? Okay. So that is still open action. Second thing, it is played with the tip of the index finger. Okay. So these are index finger, first finger, and I am talking about the tip, not the lower section of the ink. Okay. It's just the first part of the index finger. So you got which finger? Now the third and the last answer is it's a closed sound. So you got the sound. So whenever there is a closed sound, you make sure you hold the finger tightly down. Do not lift your finger up. For any closed sound, you make sure you hold your finger down tightly. That's the basic rule here onwards we'll be following until for next 6 months. Okay. Once you get used to, then you'll be fine. But until that, Any close sound, you make sure you hold your finger tightly down this way. Okay? Yes,
Do you hold your finger down until the next note?
exactly. Exactly. Okay? So now let's see where the ta is being played. Okay? Now let's come back to that third exercise. What we did. Remember the third exercise? Your first finger is up, second finger is up, your thumb is up, your hand is resting on the last two fingers. Can you guys do with me, please? Now just go further and then gently come back slowly. Now when you are coming back slowly, okay, now there is some stop sign. Now where to stop? Okay, look at this third finger. Which finger? Look down, look here guys, okay, don't write down, just make sure you are looking it up. So look at your third finger, which is your ring finger. Look at the first section. Which section? This first section. This first section, some portion of this must touch to ink or gum. Must. So if it is not touching to gum, things will not happen in the right way. Okay? So again, when I am pulling back, I am ensuring that some section of my ring finger is touching to the ink or the gum, and that's what I am stopping. If I stop here, that's not correct. Okay, so I need to pull it little up. Now once you've done that, then by the index finger you pull your hand down on the kinar along with the thumb. So along with the thumb means you are having a gently pinching action between your finger, and that sound is called as a ta. Initially, if the sound doesn't come, that is fine. Listen here guys, let me finish please, okay? If the sound doesn't come when you hit from the top, that's fine. Even the sound is low, that's fine. But do not tamper your fingering by playing something like this, or no, that is not the correct approach. So make sure that your hand, your fingering is correct. Even the less sound is okay to start with. Make sure the thumb is coming closer to this ring basically. If you are playing like this, Shauna, we are playing like this, eventually you will start getting pain here. The more you start playing like that in this manner, because this is hanging, there is no support here. With that kind of, still you are hanging your thumb is, that is not going to be good for long term, Shauna. You make sure you touch that thumb to the ring so that you get support. Once you get support, now there will not be a problem here. But if you keep that hanging, there is going to be a problem eventually, because you can't keep playing like this. The more you learn the kaidas, more you learn the more difficult stuff, eventually you will start getting pain here. So make sure you change that, Shauna. That is not going to help you long term. So again, coming back from third exercise, just watch here. Make sure you are stopping appropriately, and then pull your index finger tip on the kinar and hold your finger tightly. Got it? I'll play a couple more times. Just observe the sound, observe the fingering, and then we'll play together. Okay? Just observe probably a couple more times. I'm holding my finger down. I'm not touching this middle. Shauna, listen here, please. I'm not touching this middle finger down. I'm not making this finger up in the air. Will you please listen, my friend? Now, if I don't do that, I'm going to give you the adverse effect. Let's say I'm touching this finger down. What sound?
Close.
Close sound. Now, let's say these are correct sound, right? Now, what happens? It's more open sound, right? So, by not touching this, you'll get open sound. By touching this, you'll get close sound. So, make sure you avoid those two unwanted clicks. Middle finger should not touch, ring finger always should touch somewhere on the gum or the ink. We finish, please. Okay, give me a couple minutes. So that, and then the last option is your thumb. You are touching somewhere on the rim, and do not lift your finger. Don't do, because still it will have some vibration. That's what you suppress the vibration. So this is the correct and appropriate sound. start playing faster, Chonak, you will not sustain here. You get support with your thumb to sustain that. You will have tough time later on. So make sure you change that habit. Yes, what was your question?
So when you're doing the ta,
Correct.
so can can you raise your middle finger higher and then lift up your
That's
palm?
okay. That's fine. But don't hold this hand here. You're not supposed to hold your hand here. How many questions you have?
And
You didn't
also,
even finish the first one and you already raised your hand for the second one. Okay.
and also when you were doing it faster, is your hand supposed to move like that?
We'll come back to those points. Okay?
So is it like this?
What is where your pinky finger is? Yeah, that also should touch. Exactly. Still your thumb is up in the air. Make sure you take support of the thumb here. Are you watching that? Where is my thumb? Yeah, it's not this way. Got it?
So it's not complete close. It's like semi-close.
Which one?
Because everything
It's a closed sound. The open sound will be open sound.
close is like this.
No, but here also, see, every aspect will have its own close sound, right? Because every section is different, and every section has its own characteristics of sound. Right? It's not same, right? Otherwise, then there would not be three different sections. Right? Why we have three different sections? To have the different sounds. So every characteristic is different. Okay, let's play one by one.
And this thing stays down, right? This pinky finger
Yes,
stays.
correct. Perfect. But don't keep this here. I'm not keeping here all the time. The moment I lift up, this goes away. Correct. No, but you are, yes. Make sure you get
Both together.
Exactly. That's it. Perfect. Got it? So this is called ta, or also it's called as a na. Okay. Just play only once. Perfect. Everything is good. Perfect. Good sound. Good. You sit properly first, my friend. That's okay, fine. See, don't try to get taper in your hand. Something that's not good. Make sure this remains flat. Just watch these two fingers. Yeah, that's fine. Even sound doesn't come, that's okay to start with. Watch your thumb again. It's low, way below. It should touch to this ring somewhere, right? No, no. See, the long term you'll have tough time, Shalnak. That's what I'm telling you. You need to change that somewhere down the line. Right? So practice with that aspect. Yes. Your thumb is still up, down there. Basically. The thumb is not touching to ring. Very well thumb, yes. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. But make sure you are playing on the kinar. Don't let this finger slip in the second ring, basically. Okay?
Question?
Yeah.
Is it them supposed to be there before
No.
or when
It
you're
should
playing?
come basically along with that, basically.
Okay. So it's like this.
Correct. Correct. Got it? So everybody okay with that ta? Any question? Yes.
So is it like this?
Yeah, that's better. That's better. But watch this third finger. You're getting something like this. That is not good. It should be flat. Watch my finger. Not doing something like this, right? That's bad again. It should be flat. Just watch those 2-3 points basically lecture when you practice. Okay? Is that okay? Any question? You guys are okay with ta? Now let's look at it here, okay? Now from ta we will move to tin. Okay, so from ta, so now ta is our base. So this ta you played, right? So from ta, we'll see how the tin part. Listen here, please. From ta, how we are moving. So there are two things happens here. One is movement of your hand, and what direction? It goes lateral. Okay, it's not a vertical movement. Rather, it's a. There are only two movements in tabla. One lateral movement, one vertical movement. Okay, so this one we are doing a lateral movement. So from ta, how do we move for tin? Just move in a straight line. How long or how much? Watch here now. Listen here, okay? So I am playing ta here, right? Now look at it where my existing ring finger is. Okay? Now remember that location in your mind somewhere. So this was my ring finger was, right? So I am sliding my hand and making my index finger just above where the ring finger was. And then I am playing on the same location and lifting my finger up because now it's a open swing. Will you stop playing first? Let me finish, okay? Otherwise you not understand, please. Don't play when I am playing basically. Make sure you are listening, understanding, focusing. Okay? Don't play, please. It's not this sound. That is close sound. So as soon as I am hitting, I am lifting the finger right away. And at what location? Let's say this is your dial of a clock. At 4 o'clock, in between gum and ink, I am playing that thin and lifting the finger up. Now there is one more addition in playing thin, and that addition is this thing will always come along with the ka, ki, k and the baya. So this is not a complete thin, but so that becomes your complete thin. So thin is consisting of playing ka, ki, k on the baya plus the sound of thin on the tabla together becomes a complete thin. Okay, and again, how the transition of thin happens from ta? Let's say I'm playing ta here. So where I'm moving? Moving to the right. How long? Until my index finger comes where my earlier ring finger was. And again, that distance will change depending on your hand, depending on your finger, depending on your tabla. So there is no fixed mathematics that 1 inch, 2 inch, half centimeter. No. It all depends on your structure of your hand. It all depends on your tabla size basically. So again, what is that syllable? That syllable is called as a thin. Let me finish. That syllable is called as a, and thin is basically ka, ki, k. This is closed sound, and here it is a open sound. So playing both together is called as a thin. So ta, thin, ta, thin. So there happens a sliding of my hand basically, not lifting. So remember the keyword. You're not supposed to ta, lift your hand up and then play thin. No. There is no lifting up the hand happen. It's a sliding from one location to the second location by the ring finger. Huh?
By the index.
No, the sliding happens by the ring finger basically. Okay, so ta, thin, ta, thin, ta, and then thin close together.
Index finger is open sound. Your ring finger still touch the.
No, now it is not touching. Because now it's open sound, right? We need to get why. See why we are touching in the kinar here? Because this is closed sound and we want to suppress all unwanted vibration which this guy creates. Now here in fact we want him to speak more now basically. So we are not suppressing with this finger now. Rather, this is not touching. Got the point? So for thin should not touch, for ta must touch. Is it clear? Yes. Sharif. Yeah, good. There is a code over there, bro. You can just go with the code.
So, for thin, are you supposed to move your hand or is it supposed to already start like that?
From ta, first move your hand, right? Make appropriate position and then pull your finger down.
So thin isn't like this?
No, that's not the way.
So then you just move it and then you play?
Correct. Then pull it top to bottom. So what his question was, from ta, I'm not doing thin like this.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
So that's not the case. One ta, make sure you slide your hand. Now pull it top to bottom. Okay? Got it? Let's play one by one. Ta and tin. Play first ta. Correct? And now tin. Perfect. That's okay. That's fine. But close together. Both together. Tin. But this is close sound. Yeah, perfect. Correct? This is open sound, right? Correct? Work together. Correct. Make sure this finger you lift it up basically. It will take a little while to do that coordination. It will not happen. But you understood the concept, right? Correct? Then is open sound. Correct?
Coordination.
It will take a while. Don't lift your complete hand. So yeah, exactly. Got it? You got the concept, right? Okay. Correct? That's fine. Make sure you immediately lift the finger up. Try to get the more open sound. Okay? Correct? Then make sure you lift your finger up, right? Correct. But not this one. This should stay there. Right? This should stay. Correct. Got it? Correct. Perfect. Good. Much improved. They both together. Correct. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. Now, where did you play thin? That's not correct. Where did I say? Exactly. You need to slide your hand. You're not sliding your hand. That was correct. That's perfect. Good. That was good. Got it? Good. Not lift your hand. Not even lifting this finger up in there, right? Just lift your finger up where you are hitting the tabla. Why you are lifting all other fingers? Yeah, that's it. Perfect. But close the wire. Where you are playing. Your location is not correct. Your thin location is not correct. Play ta first. Correct? Yeah, that's fine. So ta was okay, thin was okay, basically. Now write down couple exercises on ta thin at your home. Make sure you practice those. First one is ta. First letter is ta.
This homework?
Yeah, this is over. Thin. Yeah. Ta, thin. Ta, thin. Okay, these are first exercise. Go to the second line.
You just repeat.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Tatin, tata.
Yeah. The second one.
What is it?
Ta, thin. Thin. That is first homework. Or first we got exercise basically. Okay. Second one. Ta, thin, ta.
What was the first one?
I don't know, I don't know.
What's the second one? The second one is star. Yeah. You click on. You have to click on the white thing. What's the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is first you have done? Ta, thin. First one. Second one. Ta, thin, ta.
Yeah.
Third one. Thin, ta, ta, tin. Now can you tell fourth one? Look at the pattern of the first three and tell me what's the fourth one.
What's the third one?
Tin, ta, tin. Yes.
Tin,
Hmm?
ta, tin, ta.
Perfect. You got it, my friend. Good job. Tin, ta, ta. That is the fourth one. So these are the 4 exercises. You make sure you practice every single day, at least for a minute or two. But I'll show how that practice is. Okay. There is nothing other than ta and tin here, right? So all these 4 exercises, they are meant for you to practice ta and tin basically. So ta, tin, ta, tin. Second one, ta, tin, ta. Third one, tin, ta, tin. Fourth one, tin, ta, ta. Okay? So which how many are there? And you play back to back. Don't keep playing first ta, tin, for 8-10 times, then go no. Make sure you start with 1, then go to 2, then go to 3, then go to 4, then come back to 1. Okay, so it's a repetition of 4 exercises back to back basically. Okay, now before you play the tabla, let's do some exercise on the clap. How you should say it, so that once you say it, it will be easy for you to play it basically. Okay, so give 4 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep counting. 1. Say louder. 2, 3. Properly. 4. 1, 2. 4. Now say the first one. Ta, tin, ta, tin. Keep saying that one first. Ta, tin, ta, tin. Say louder. Ta, tin, ta, tin. One more time. Ta, tin, ta, tin. One more time. Ta, tin, ta, tin. Okay. Don't do ta, ta 2 times.
Why is it not tin, ta, tin 5 times?
Exactly. Because in one beat, you have 2 syllables. In one beat, ta, tin, ta. So that exercise will teach you that in between there is different rhythm. In between there is different rhythm. So ta, tin goes in a single speed. Ta goes in a double speed. So ta, tin, ta. So when you come to that ta part, your rhythm is twice than your rest of the other syllables. So there are 2 things are happening here. One is you are practicing ta tin. Second thing, you are also practicing changing the rhythm from 1 to 1 to 1 to 1. Okay. So let's do one by one quickly. The first one on the clap.
Ta,
Right.
tin,
Good.
ta, tin.
Excellent. Good.
Tin, ta, tin.
No, you're not clapping on ta unfortunately.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
The rhythm is getting little off.
Yeah.
One more time.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
Tin was little earlier. The clap was again.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
That was good.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
Perfect.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
Excellent. Good.
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
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 One more time. We are having
Ta, tin, ta, tin.
okay. Now if you got this rhythm, remaining all 3, they are in line with the same rhythm. So now let's start with first, then go to the second, then go to the third, then go to the fourth. Okay, let's do all 4 one back to back. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, tin, ta, tin. Second. Ta, tin, ta. Third. Ta, Fourth. Tin. Back to one. Ta. Second. Third. Fourth. Back to one. So before you play this at your home, you make sure you recite on the clap at least for a minute, and then you come to the playing part. Okay? So your homework first, recite it at least for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the sequence. Then come back to the playing part. Other than ta and tin, there is nothing here. So it's a good homework for both ta and tin. Do not ignore, please, this week. And 1 minute is not a big amount of time from whatever your busiest schedule. Okay. So make sure that you spare at least a minute or two to do this exercise, especially kids. Don't give me excuse. I was having this homework, that homework. Okay. Make sure you at least practice a minute or two for this. Okay. Now let's come back to tha and din before we stop, so that we are finishing all the 6 syllables today. Next week onwards, we'll try to learn the ta system. Now dha is an extension of ta. What is dha?
An extension
It
of
is an
the-
extension of da, meaning that you already learned something and you are adding something to that. That is also you already learned, and then you are creating that dha syllable. So dha is a complex syllable. What we call like tin is also complex basically. Why we are calling complex? Because we play both tabla and baya together instantly to make a sound. That syllable we call a complex. T of teacher wasn't complex. T of te wasn't complex. T wasn't complex. Because either you are individually playing on the baya or you are individually playing on the, you didn't play together. So when the things play together, we are calling them as a complex. And both dha and din, they are complex syllables. That means it happens simultaneously on the tabla and on the baya. Now how dha is forming? So write down the equation of dha is ta plus ga, ghi, ge on the baya equal to dha. So ta on the tabla, ga, ghi, ge, we learned ga, ghi, ge, right? We didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
So that is together when you play, that becomes your dha. So you already learned ga, ghi, ge. You already learned ta. Now you just matter of playing together. So once you play ta plus ga, ghi, ge, when you play together, listen guys, please, okay? That what is that syllable called?
Da.
Dha, right? Now when you play tin, right? Now when you play tin, remove that ka part or replace that ka part with open baya. That becomes your din. So this tin part on the tabla, on the baya replace close with open. So replace ka, ki, ke with ga, ghi, ge. You know what I'm saying? That becomes your din. So this is your dha and this is your din basically. So dha, din, dha, din, dha. Shonak, listen here. Din. Just listen, guys. Please, okay? I'm just playing dha and din. Got it? Now, homework number 2.
One sec.
Yeah.
The left curved finger is the middle.
Middle finger. You are making the middle finger, right? So now, homework number 2.
One sec. Da equal to tha plus ga, ghi, ge.
Correct.
And then equal to tin
Tin
plus
plus ga,
ga,
ghi,
ghi.
ge. Yeah. So what could be the homework number 2? Any guess? Yes?
The bar.
Okay.
So I didn't get the din of the equation.
So tin, but on the baya for tin you are playing ka, ki, ke, right? So replace that ka, ki, ke with ga. So tin on the tabla, ga, ghi, ge on the baya, that becomes your din. So thin portion doesn't change. That is fixed.
It's thin
Instead of
plus
square,
thin plus gain.
exactly. Thin plus
It's
ga,
complex,
gi, ge.
complex. Because
Yeah.
thin is also complex.
Yeah, both are correct. Yes.
So the homework will be da,
Mhm.
din,
Mhm.
din.
Excellent, you got it, Matthew. So in the previous homework, replace ta with dha and replace
Thin with
then with then and rewrite all those four exercises again. So that is your homework number 2.
The star with because
Replace ta with dha. You can't do in notebook, right? Replace ta with you can't just find and replace here.
With tha.
and then
And then with then and rewrite all those fours basically. So what would be the first one? Dha, then, dha, then. Second will be dha, then, dha. Third one, then, dha, then. And the last fourth
Then.
one will be then, dha, dha. So if you could do these 2 exercises at your home for this week, you should be fine next week onwards to learn any ta. Okay? That's my
Okay,
guarantee.
then
But if you don't practice, then I can't help you with it. Make sure that at least you spare 2-3 minutes a day to have first homework for ta tin and then second homework for dha tin. So even if you do for 2-3 minutes a day, good enough. Good enough. I'm not even asking practice 2 hours, 1 hour. No, not even required. Even 2-3 minutes a day is good enough to get you to the next level. Okay? Yes.
thin again.
So thin here, right? And then work together.
so both are open.
Both are open. In thin, basically one is closed, one is open. So then both are open. Got that one? And then, so this is basically ta, tin, dha, then we covered. Gha, ghi, ghe, ka, ki, ke, we already covered. So we covered all the 6 basic syllables which are required for any tal, right? So from next week onwards, now we will be behind to start learning all the tals. Okay? So the first tal in that contest we will go with the Dadra, right? What we learned last week. So that we will start learning from the next week. Okay? Before we start, let's write down a couple more phrases. But again, you don't need to practice that. I would rather focus more on ta, tin, and dha in this week. But just as a knowledge base, write down a couple more phrases. The first phrase is ki ta ta ka. Ki ta ta ka. Ki flat. Okay. Ta ta ka.
So it's not like T
Yeah. Cha. Ki ta ta ka. Ki flat. Ta ta ka. How many syllables? 4 syllables. Okay. Let's play together. Ki ta ta. Keep playing. Sit properly. Keep your tabla properly. Ki flat. G flat, correct. Key flat, correct. Got it? Now after kita taka, add tira kicha. So the next phrase will be kicha taka tira kicha. Right on the next phrase. Tira kita we already learned, right? So now after kita taka, you are adding tira kicha. So kita taka tira kicha is your longer phrase. you already learned Tira Kita, right? You know Tira Kita. You learn Kita Taka. Kita. You are just combining two. So I have no question about the fingering.
So kita taka.
Tira Kita. It becomes one longer phrase now.
So kita kita then kita taka ke. First kita taka.
First Kita Taka, then Tira Kita.
Can
So-
we play it all?
Okay? Just listen here. So key flat, ta. You guys listen to me please when I play. Make sure you are listening, please. Okay? Key, ta, and then key, ra. It's a back to back, no gap. Key, ta, key, ra. Don't play. Listen, please. Key, ta, key, ta. Key flat, ta, key, ta, key. Got it? Any question?
Just going to
You guys got it. That's fine. Key,
one second.
key. So now go and play, please. Key. Listen here. Ta, Right? Play on that quickly. Correct? Okay, that's it. Tira Kita, right? That's it. That's it. No, but then come back to Kita Taka. Then that be in the loop basically. Right? Sorry?
This is good.
That's it. Perfect. Good.
Alright, so.
That's it. Perfect. Good. That's it. But make sure you don't stop in between.
Yeah,
And your thumb is still pointing out. Just make sure you bring it closer. That's it.
Tight.
Make sure you play everything at the center of the thumb. Your finger is being held up. Yeah. Make sure you follow that, please. Okay? Good. Very good. Why do you need to look at the book? Can't you remember these two phrases? Just close your book. It is too much depending on your working number. That's it. How come you remember now? Huh? Perfect. Good. Very good. Good job, man. One more time. Keep playing. Don't stop in between. You accent on key louder while playing. Accent on key when you repeat basically. taka tira teacher. Not that key. The first key of teacher taka. Good. Got it. Practice with that approach. Got it? Okay, any question?
So is there in this daya, in this 8 syllable, it's all the same one. It's exactly the same.
But the stress point at first key, I'm asking you to give little more
Yeah.
than the other key. Exactly.
It's like a thumb.
Exactly.
Okay, the
Got it?
first is more stronger.
See, that's what happens actually. That first syllable. If I'm saying something, if you can stop playing, it will help me to keep continuing. Okay? Otherwise, if you keep playing it, you are disturbing everybody, please. Okay? Yeah, so what I was telling, I lost.
No, the first syllable.
Yeah. So the first syllable in any given aspect will have always emphasizing. So going further, remember that thumb rule, that wherever first syllable comes in the phrase, in a composition, in a tal, anywhere, that first syllable always will have some significance of the sound impact than the other basically. We'll elaborate more basically going further, but that was a good point. Okay? Any other question? There are too many questions.
So the homework is the one that.
Yeah, if you don't practice Kirtaka Tirigada, I am okay with that. But don't ignore ta, tin,
That's the
dha,
tougher
din.
one.
Okay? That one must. Because next class onwards we'll be focusing on all the tas. So please do not ignore ta, tin and dha, din. If you practice 5, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, good for you and good for me both. But if you don't practice, it's not good for both of us. I'm saying 1 minute minimum, but doesn't mean that you just after 1 minute will wrap it up. If you have some time, probably extend it a little longer, that's beneficial. But do not practice 10 minutes one day and then don't practice for remaining 7 days. That is not a logic. So you say, oh, one day I practice for 10 minutes, which is equivalent to my 10 days practice, right? No, that is not probably good logic. Make sure you touch every single day. Got it? Any question? You guys are okay? Huh? Okay, I think we'll stop it for
Thank
here.
you.
We'll continue next.